So I have just finished my work for today, which means I am moving on to another unfinished project. We are getting them all done in the new year. I am so excited for this week's project. It is just all the fun, all the color, heirloom, whimsical, it's something I've never done anything like this before. Alright, so you want to see what this week's project is? Because I know. Not only do I know what it is, but I am so excited for it. So we're going to go back into this bag. So this project was started back when Henry was a baby. I painted all of this lace. I am so excited for this finally to see the light of day and to see it come together. And it's like I've had this vision of it in my mind, and I'm to finally see how it's going to actually come together. It's really exciting. So I got materials back when I was at Farmhouse a little while ago. These are some really cool colors, just very like whimsical heirloom, but with a twist, and you will see what I mean. So I've got, look at these fun colors, right? This, and I need to get the lace that I painted. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this thing to come together. So my thought about this is to do a yoke bodice. That's a weird way of saying that. It's sort of like the middle of the afternoon. I've got an hour until pickup, so I've been like at it this morning hunting, and now I'm just like trying to let my mind relax. So bear with me. A yoke top, okay? And the yoke top is going to be with all of this lace that I painted way back when, and I'm so excited. Oh, I can't say that enough. I'm so excited to get this together. So this was intended for Audrey, but there is no way I have enough lace for her at this point. So I am debating between Everly and Daisy. Daisy is she's closer to a size 3 than a size 2 these days, so I'm thinking I don't have enough for her. Everly, though, is pretty much a size 18 months, so I think I'm going to go with that. So I can't find the size 18 month in this pattern envelope. Who knows? I found, though, the 12 months, and I think that's going to be fine, and I'll just add a smidgen around, and life will go on, and I hope it'll work out. So, So I think I'll just add a smidgen like around, 12 months to make it to be a little bit larger so it'll fit her better. I'd rather it be obviously a little too loose than a little too snug. That's the right way to go in that direction, right? Like you'd rather have it be a little loose than a little snug. So I think it will be fine, and then that means I get to piece the lace together today, which can I say it again? I am so excited for. Okay, so let's just piece this lace together.
I belong to you. I belong to you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. And I always be around when I need some loving, baby.
Hello. It is much later in the week. It is Thursday afternoon, and we're going to focus the next couple hours. So my lace stuff, I thought I was going to get ahead this week, and I did my lace like, I don't know, Monday or whatever, and I was like, oh, I'll have my work in progress done and my video like ready to go, whatever. And here we are Thursday afternoon, and I'm trying to get her done because there's lots that's going on. Oh my goodness, it is just coming down, and it's like, it's so good. So many projects, so much fun stuff this year. I'm not ready to talk about it all, but it's gonna be this year is becoming a really good year, right? Like we're in it. It's like taking off and going. And anywho, so I'm excited for all of that stuff. Stay tuned. But right now I am going to focus. A couple days ago, I got the lace work done. And now here we are Thursday afternoon. So I've got the lace for the front, as well as there's one back, there's the other back, and now I'm thinking two things. Well, first of all, the key to getting things done and being happy, and at least in my experience, is the ability to focus. When you've got babies strapped to you, not quite able to focus and things, the happiness sort of lags, right? And the insanity starts to pile on. But situations like this, where the kids are at school and you're able to focus and get into something and get into flow, right? Get into like the groove and like, it's all good. You just find your happiness and you sort of like hum along. So we're gonna be humming along this afternoon and focusing. The next couple things, so I'm thinking of taking some advice out of one of Claire's books. I'm rereading one of her books, and the whole idea of thread tracing. So I'm going to be thread tracing this lace, the pattern onto the lace, and then I was thinking to myself, okay, how am I going to take the lace, because I want to keep this like fun and whimsical and colorful. How do I go from the lace to attaching it to my dress? Normally I would go to organdy. Love organdy with lace. I feel like it's just the most supportive best friend to lace, at least in my humble opinion. I'm like, organdy, come save me. Save whatever weird situation I've gotten myself into. And I thought, but I want to keep it fun and whimsical and stuff. And then I remember that I have fun, whimsical colors. Let me show you. All right, so this is from some of the goodies that I got. Just kidding, this is the wrong bag. Hold on. Where did the colors go? I just saw them the other day. Aha, here we are. Look at me, I put them in an organizer because I had trouble finding them because they were all organized away. Anywho, so these are fat quarters of organdy from Farmhouse Fabrics. So normally I would just grab the white because, I mean, lace work, like you just grab white, usually it's just light, you know, you're not usually working with painted lace. That's kind of like a unique thing, right? So I have, though, colored organdy. I'm so excited for this. This is gonna be so fun. Actually, I should do the organdy first. Yeah, JK. Alrighty, so before I thread trace, I should get the rest of my pattern together. That way I have the whole space to thread the pattern onto, right? Like I should have all of the pattern there for me to thread trace. Like, brilliant. So we need to figure out what color organdy we're going to use to help this lace out be supported and make the transition and just polish her up. I've got all these fun colors, and I want to keep it fun and whimsical and slightly like heirloom-ish, but not like, you know, like crazy clown whimsical, just like pretty whimsical, right? So I think this lilac could be a really good contender. This turquoise I think is a bit too fun, too bold for what we're going for, but this blue would be great. The light jade, I think, is also a bit too bold. Definitely brown is out, eggplant is out. Great colors, but not what we're going for here. This could be really fun. That could be fun as well as this light turquoise. We could do a light turquoise. And then there's a lavender. So, what we have left, we've got 2 purples, 2 blues, and a green. So let's remove our definite, like our easy nose out of the way. Making decisions over here, life decisions. So let's compare that with the other materials and see what's, you know, where we go from here. Here's the other lace that I painted. This is a whiter. I'm gonna stick all the obvious things. It's a whiter edging lace. And my plan for this is to put this around to like a flutter sleeve situation as well as a hem treatment. And you will see more on that in a little bit. So we'll put that and see how that goes. I also have 2 different pipings. I've got this kind of a petal pink. It's just fun stuff. As well as, what would you call this? blue. I also have some entree that I dyed pink because that's fun. And then I've got 4 fabrics. 3 of them are like a Nola, it's one of my favorite fabrics. It's a cotton batiste with a lovely sheen to it. And I've got it in this pretty petal pink color as well as a lilac. And I want to say you would call this like a robin's egg blue, something like that. It's gonna look so good with this lace. Oh my God, it's so good. I did not have this fabric when I was painting, but I am pleasantly surprised with how. It's just a happy accident, not even a surprise. This is a happy accident. It's pretty. It's like, it's bold and fun, but still like classy. You know, it's not like, ah, look at me. It's just like, oh, I'm pretty. Oh my God, my descriptions. Anywho, then the 4th fabric is this dotted seuss. And if you are wondering why it's called dotted seuss, it's because it's made in Switzerland. God. I'm not on anything. This is just all natural. Now, how are these fabrics going to come together? That's a really good question. Well, let's take some of these out of the bag and see how they look. Oh, that's pretty. I wonder how the green would look. Maybe it would just have the leaves disappear, but maybe it would make them pop. You just never know. You just kind of like put it on, you know? Have options and see what the options tell you. Oh yeah, I don't like that. Okay. The option says no. The leaves disappear. It's a gorgeous color though. I really like this color in Honeydew. It's really pretty. It's like a really nice, it would go well with like the 369 DMC floss color. Floche floss, whatever. I love this lilac color. Doesn't that just pop? Oh, so pretty. I wonder what the lavender color would look like. Ooh. That's really cool. Oh, I do like the lavender. Is it too much? I don't know. Then we can't forget that we have the blue. So, might as well take these suckers out. Do I like this more than the lavender? I don't think or the lilac. I think I still like this one, so we're gonna put this back. All right, so I think the winner is the lilac. I think that is really pretty. It's, in my mind, whimsical. It makes the colors pop on the lace, which is like item number 1. It's still whimsical, it's pretty, it walks the line of like balance between the two. It's gonna, I think, pair really well with the rest of the fabrics. So I am really excited to see how this is going to come together.
Alrighty, so now with our life decisions out of the way, let's construct this dress. First things first, let's take that pretty lilac color Swiss organdy and attach it to our joined lace yoke pieces. This will be an intentionally oversized piece of organdy, that way we've got some room to work with. I'm just getting a rough idea of how long the organdy should be, giving that a clip and ripping it. Sorry, I don't think that did the organdy justice. Ripping organdy is one of life's greatest joys. Seriously, it is so satisfying. If you've never ripped organdy, if you don't even have a use for organdy, just buy it to rip it because it is just magical. Maybe I'm a little crazy. Anywho, I am folding over the organdy and having the raw edge underneath the lace. I'm thinking this will be a good transition from the lace to the organdy, and it allows placements of those buttons, you know, buttonholes, that whole situation. So while I'm excited to see all these colors are joining together to create this little Dr. Seuss heirloom piece, I am really enjoying the process too. The more things have slowed down around here, largely thanks to the kiddos all being in school now, the ability to come down and not rush through things has really opened up this sort of peaceful, relaxing sewing time. I've said it for years, sewing is so much more than sewing. It's therapy in many regards. Between lining things up, pinning them in place, and now getting some thread and enjoying that thread tracing process, it's all good. There's no need to rush. You are not late. It is better now than never. You are right where you are supposed to be. So the idea of thread tracing is that it's going to take the place of what I would normally use the heat activated pin for. In this case, I think it's a better option since that pin doesn't do a wonderful job of going over the little bumps and crevices within the lace. It's also a technique from the land of couture sewing, so we're getting a little fancy over here, don't tell anyone. Now I'm inserting some of that entree that I dyed light pink into the shoulder seams. I love using entree in shoulder seams, or really wherever. It just smiles back at you, okay? It's just sparkle. But I also think it's a great way to transition from the front of the dress to the back. Gives you a little bit of tolerance in case the lines of the lace don't line up just right too. With the pieces thread traced and the entree attached, now I'm trimming up things, kind of getting things out of my way as the construction allows. And now that we've got our yoke roughly joined together, that neckline needs some attention. So I'm applying more of that light pink entree, which will allow some of the edging lace to be attached. At least that's my thought process. But I didn't actually think this all the way through. After all, I've got this wider, edging lace. Definitely it's way too wide to put around this neckline, at least in my opinion. And then I've got this lace insertion, which doesn't exactly polish off the neckline, at least, again, in my opinion. So I've got to figure that one out later. I also put entree around the arm size, but I forgot to leave that extra bit to attach the skirt to, and again, I will have to figure that one out later. Ship had sailed by the time that I realized I made that mistake. So moving on to the skirt, and isn't this a gorgeous color? Seriously, I want a dress for myself in it, and a nightgown, and an apron. Oh, squirrels, but yeah, aprons. I think I need me one of those. Another project for another time. Anywho, after putting in the back placket, then I gather up the skirt with 2 rows of lengthened stitches. This skirt has 1 yard for each the front and back panel. Yes, we are setting ourselves up for a full skirt, folks. Gotta love a full skirt, right? I pin up the hem, which I will sew down by hand later on. I'm just getting it out of the way for now and kind of getting my proportions right because I'm gonna be playing around. So I'm moving to the playroom side of the half wall because I need me some space to stretch out and figure out the last pieces. Basically, I've got this wide lace etching as well as the pink dotted seuss, yes, from Switzerland, as well as Nola, and I'd like all of these bits in the garment, but how? That's a good question. I don't have enough of the wide lace edging to go around the entire hem of the skirt, but also I think it pops more to be on top of the skirt, like on top of that color. So with that tidbit of information, how do I get it on top of the skirt? Aha, we could use an apron, and that's how I could use the pink dotted seuss too. Alrighty, now we have a game plan, and so I return to my sewing corner, put some gathering threads into the top of the dotted seuss piece, and then attach some entree around the hem area. From there, I pin the lace edging, gathering it up as I go around the hem of this little apron. Now, returning back to my playroom workspace, I am testing out that little apron idea, which I think looks pretty darling, if I may say so myself. But now, something has become quite obvious. The dress opens in the back, and I want this apron to open in the front. But alas, it is school pickup time, so this conundrum will have to wait for another time. For now, I am going to join the skirt to the bodice, kind of doing the stuff that I know how to piece together, you know what I mean? Low-hanging fruit, I guess. So first, I gotta fix my mistake of leaving behind some entree for around the arm's eye within the skirt. So to do this, I'm just eyeballing how the entree curve should go around like each side seam into that arm's eye, kind of flattening out the fabric and sewing her in. Not overthinking it, just kind of getting it in, right? And I trim up the other side so it's ready to accept the lace sleeve. And now the entree will magically get joined together when I sew the yoke to the skirt. I know, earth-shattering. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's just part of doing things, learning, all of that jazz. And then on the flip side, if you embrace your mistakes, you'll be in a better position to figure out a solution to them. Gathering the front of the skirt to fit the yoke front and then sewing those pieces together. After I repeat the same thing for the back of the dress, then I hand sew the gathered sleeves together into the holes of the entredot. And then I do kind of a separate French seam number just underneath the lace sleeve area. Don't ask me why, I just did it. Go ask your mother. So last but not least, the final piece of this puzzle, another pop of color thanks to this pretty purple Nola color, I'm going to use that as the apron's top, and that will allow the apron to be tied together after the dress is on, which solves the other issue. I know, things are coming together now.
This is pink.
Is that pink?
Yeah. This is blue. This is pink.
Alright, stop.
What? This is pink.
I had a dream last night. Did everything I never do in real life. I stepped into a room, told everyone to be quiet, cause I had something to say, blew everybody away, wear whatever I want.
Can you give me a towel, please? Yes, oh. So sorry. Maybe somebody shouldn't be shaking the paints.
Dressed in a gown, everybody's like, why, where you going? Nowhere special, just going to the store. I think I'd have it all, tell you I have even more. Picking a plate, being a plate, she is unruly. Never seen her like this, didn't think it existed, no truly. I'm getting away, she's not here to play, she'll get moody. But don't mistake this girl for being me, cause these are dream rules. This is someone else, I'm not myself, no. Cause these are dream rules. This is someone else, I'm not myself, no.
How fun is this dress? Heirloom Dr. Seuss style. Go check out this video featuring more Dr. Seuss inspired projects, from crazy socks to true dresses to this, oh my goodness, this hat. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, I appreciate y'all for watching and I hope to catch y'all next time.